expect it. I don't think that was ban-worthy.
You got crit twice though. You have to remember Pekka got crit twice on that all-in, which was I believe a 10% chance, 2 times in a row. Given my math, not too likely. Anyways, I feel given the history both these teams have, if one of them, imagine if one of them ends up winning or losing with Kassadin.
With Kassadin, yeah.
Do you want that? Do you want that out there in social media? Why not just ban it away and be like, guys, if we're confident we can beat them, let's do it without the Kassadin, because it would just stir up such a fuss. But it would be interesting, to say the least.
Well, we see Trundle taken away here for the top lane. And Elise, you talked about that one earlier, both Meteos and Cyanide, fans of that one. Lulu removed as well as Caitlyn. First pick was the Sivir.
So yeah, this could be a strategy to say like, okay, we ban out Caitlyn, which means there's Sivir on the left. Take the Sivir. We're forcing you to take the Sivir because we want Renekton and whatever was left, LeBlanc, for example, instead. That means Reckles probably has an answer because you know they're gonna probably take Sivir. Lucian's out. You're banning your own champion yourself, and then you basically force them. Sure, you get Sivir first pick, but you're giving up 2 more priority picks, as in Renekton and LeBlanc, and that could really work out. I could see a Zed going on high or a Kha'Zix to maybe fight that LeBlanc, assassin against assassin. Maybe a long-range champion, but then with barrier, removing the kill pressure there.
I mean, it's interesting to see the Sivir being the first pick, because I know for a fact, I mean, that's not something Fnatic would go for at all as their first pick when the likes of Renekton are on the table. We've seen the Chinese team, of course, valuing it so highly. KTB also valued it very highly. It's interesting that they use that important first pick for that AD carry.
But you can't bank on that. If this was Fnatic on boost side, maybe, but Fnatic have 2 picks.
Yeah.
And normally I would agree, like, Fnatic would not go for that, but Lucian and Caitlyn are already out. Like, what is left? I'm still wondering what Reckless is going to place. Is it going to be a Varus or...
Yeah, could be Jinx or Reckless.
Jinx, yeah, but then they need the Morgana. I think Jinx Morgana is a really good answer here. I like it, although it's pretty hard to catch Sivir with Morg because you can run out of your ulti so quick and you have a spell shield. But as for a lane goes, I feel Jinx Morg can really punish Sivir Thresh.
Well, we do see that Lee Sin here for Meteos and the Thresh coming in there as well for Lemon Nation.
Yeah, default to Lee pick. He's been playing a lot of Elise and a lot of Lee Sin, and generally people just don't have the room or space to target Meteos, so he keeps going back to his 2 or 3 champions, and he does so well. I really like highlighting the progress he made, because you have great players, right, on a couple of champions, and they're known for that all in this. A couple of months ago, Meteos was not known for Lee Sin, and he was quoting himself like terrible on the champion, and then I watched him play, and the basics was right, you know, the conceptual play was good, but the mechanics he had to work on, and now he's insecting, kick flashing, doing everything right. Oh, Pantheon's still open.
Pantheon was still open, and that's a champion that has been running heavily in Europe and North America as well. But the Zyra pickup for Yellowstar, this is a champion he played a lot of during the Worlds, but we saw it yesterday from Lemon Nation, was not convincing.
All right, let's speak in Zyra's favor. Why would you pick Zyra here? Disengaged. Sivir teams are going to charge in. Lee Sin is going to close the gap on you if you pop a Zyra ulti either on him or in between. This is, even if they don't get hit, they get zoned. Like, the team fight is going to split in 2 sides, and then you hopefully want to kill somebody. However, whenever I play Zyra, I just get blown up a lot. And I talked to Cloud9 yesterday. He's like, I don't like the Zyra pick. He's like, yeah, but you didn't see Lemon really get use of the great Zyra passive as much as he usually does. So even they know that Zyra blowing up and only being used for 2 damage is a bit of a farce already. Yeah. So yeah, not a big fan of the champion, especially against like Gragas. It's 2 battles and you're gone.
Well, speaking of Gragas, picked in there for high, and also taking Shivani here for balls in that top lane. We saw yesterday against TPA exactly how good he is with that Shyvana.
Yeah, this is almost a standard answer, is you want to play Renekton into Shyvana because Renekton is good against Shyvana early, but at the same time you want to pick Shyvana into Renekton because Shyvana is good late.
That's where I thought. I was thinking Reckless may well go with that Vayne, it's available. The only real hard counter is the Annie, which has gone to Candy Panda.
I think this is a really good pick. Completely forgot about Vayne existing even. Good thing you thought it was coming at least.
It's something we've seen pretty fiercely with Candy Panda.
I think it's a really good pick. I think Vayne works well against Sivir. Can dodge Boomerang Blade, if not the first tick, the second tick for sure. You can go all in. Vayne ulti creates a little confusion. Top a Zyra ulti with that, and then she can have these extended fights, and that might work.
Does the grasping route work with the Condemn? I can never remember.
What do you mean, like the
stun? It doesn't have the stun effect afterwards, does it? It's not now. I don't think so.
It just depends how they use it in what combo. I think generally you want to keep them in place with Zyra, so Vayne can reposition for a Condemn, and that's the way that the combo is going to work. Yeah. And Zyra just offers a lot of ranged poke to keep them at bay from going too close to the Vayne. However, if Zyra misses one snare, that invites the Cloud9 team to just bypass her completely and go for the Vayne.
You see the trophy there on the middle of the stage. Both of these teams almost there. Semi-final stage. Best of 3, of course, if you're just joining us for this one. We've moved out of that best of 1 group stage and see exactly how these two teams going to go into it.
Fans getting handsy there, I believe, as the pictures were being taken. Carmack and Shocks both getting their photos taken. Pretty sure I know which one they're trying to get handsy with, but...
Carmack, obviously.
Obviously Carmack, of course. He just judo hip-tossed them into the pit that is between the crowd and the stage. There is a giant hole between these two. Nobody's going to get stage dive, that's for sure. As it stands, though, Fnatic versus Cloud9 is about to get underway. North America, if you've just woken up, you're thinking... What the hell? How are Fnatic in the semi-finals? Well, they played magnificently this morning against Invictus Gaming. They definitely turned itself around, and Gambit have also turned it around. They're also in the semi-finals, but right now, it's the battle. North America versus Europe.
Again, as well. We should really talk about this one. We have seen this matchup before. We'll see exactly how this one goes down. And I'm going to ask you for predictions here, because we've not really done that. We've left that to the other beautiful guys over there on the analysis desk, apart from Deficio's not so beautiful, except when he pouts, which he does quite a lot, if you've noticed that. Kebo, best of 3, who's going to take it?
Again, on the best of 3, I have no idea. All I can look at is what I have in front of me this game, and it's still not very decided. I like the fact that Cloud9 scales pretty well. I like Shyvana scaling. I'm a bit worried. Renekton Pantheon can shut down a Shyvana in the early game. Not too much crowd control effects coming out of the Cloud9 lineup either. A lot of dispersion, but not really target CC. And if Fnatic is really moving across the battlefield well themselves, they'll have a lot better grasp of winning these teamfights. However, Fnatic's a bit all over the place. You have the Renekton on one side. Pantheon for teamfights kind of wants to jump in and just burst somebody, but then in these long drawn-out teamfights, Fnatic needs to blow up some members really quick, or they're in a lot of trouble because their sustained DPS just isn't very high.
So opening items, we can see Spell Thief's Edge for Yellow Star. Does find high in the tri-bush down that bottom lane. Just a little juke back and forward to hit. And actually, ironically, that would have given gold to Yellow Star. So he's already looking good in lane.
Yep, already got himself 5 gold.
5 gold. Every little attack so far until he upgrades and gets that 10 gold.
Yes. That puts Fnatic ahead.
Already, definitely. The Spell Thieves definitely is a good pickup for Zyra, though. Ranged poke gets amplified. That's why she came back into favor. Before that, didn't really happen. And you see them facing on bottom, and they just want to race to level 2. So we're probably starting W here. Yep. And they just want to hit the 2 first and then go for a trade.
So down in this bottom lane, Sivir Thresh versus Zyra Vayne. Nice to see Zyra really coming back into things. You've seen less and less Zyra, of course, but is it because of the change to the Spell Thieves that makes Zyra a little bit more viable again?
That's all it is, because Zyra range pokes really well, and that's what gets rewarded by the Spell Thieves so much. I'm still not... There's a reason people didn't play her before, and I feel Spell Thief doesn't really solve it. In the middle, meanwhile, High is doing a really good job on his barrels. Already made Peke use his passive, and he's putting the pressure on his lane.
So we'll see how that one all works out. Whether Peke can get himself some kills built up on this LeBlanc. Both of them starting out with that Door and String. We did see that Peke used his potion a little bit earlier on just to heal up that damage that was done by High's barrels before. It's Cyanide in the jungle, playing the Pantheon. And we've seen, I think, conflicting performances so far this season in the LCS from Cyanide. Had some good times on Pantheon, but also had some times where he just didn't have the impact that I feel that Cyanide needs in Fnatic to get them on the game.
I was interested. He didn't go with the Wukong. That's the champion I would have thought he would have gone with. That's the champion that's worked for him in the European LCS. Instead, sticks with the Pantheon. Pantheon has been making some great plays, both in North America and Europe. So both teams are well aware of what they're in for here.
I really think Pantheon is the better choice against the Lee Sin, because if a Lee Sin comes in and you have Liu Kang, you're notoriously weak in early game. Lee Sin is going to punish that. Even in fights, you're going to get kicked out. Pantheon needs to help snowball that Renekton lane, look for a dive on level 4. You always see Meteos pacing around the top lane. Not because he wants to gank there necessarily, but he needs to be ready in case Pantheon shows up. If he doesn't, then we're going to look later what's going to happen. Cyanide's probably going to try and sneak a gank around mid, then scale, and then look to just man-bomb some of the couple lanes and get some kills.
Man-bomb. That's man-drop. I haven't heard man-bomb. Man-drop is the phrase we generally go with, but man-bomb could well work out. We'll see how that one goes. Peke out farming so far in that mid lane up against High. That's impressive. Firstly, LeBlanc keeping that going, and Reckless keeping very much even with Sneaky.
Yeah, look at bottom though. The position that Lemon is in gives away that they have no idea where Cyanide is right now. He's giving a lot of respect to possible jungle pressure, which means Reckless can just farm from out of the bush all the way in the front. He was standing all the way back ready with a lantern. You'll see that shift immediately once they pick up where he is.
High's dead.
And High's dead.
Yeah.
And here I am talking about bot lane.
Yeah, we almost missed that one. High going down to Peke for the first blood. A simple 1 versus 1, and you can't really let that happen. You can't let Peke get going on this LeBlanc.
Alright, so Pantheon shows mid to push out mid afterwards. Lee Sin could have went to the hold, but they send Gragas. Instead, Meteos wants to capitalize on this. They have information, and they can't be sad about like losing their mid lane. They have to react immediately. And Meteos is trying to get a gank bottom, but they seem to smell it because Meteos did not show up mid to get that farm. Top's ungankable. The only place Meteos can be is his jungle or bot lane.
So we see Peke go back, and you can see the item advantage already gained there. The Codex being picked up against those 2 Doran's Blade. This is it. It's going to be a simple burst, surely.
That's very well played.
And that's it. Yeah, well, I mean, he was not getting out of that one. We'd already seen him being poked fairly low, and that was just, I mean, like you say, very well played. And that's dangerous times, because LeBlanc is one of those champions you do not want to give kills to. In a straight-up 1v1 without any jungle involvement, that's a bad play by High.
And I have to respect what Fnatic bottom lane did as well. They didn't know where Meteos was, but you saw they just based the turret and they told them, well, I'm calling your bluff right now. If you guys want to try and hold the lane there to gank me, sure, I'll just base and get some more items, and then when I'll come back, I'll 2v2 you anyways.
So Fnatic gaining the early lead in this one, 500 gold the advantage. And are they thinking about the dragon here, or are they going to go down towards this bottom lane? Actually, Cyanide with Pantheon. It is very, very early on. 6 minutes in only. Level 5 already, though, is Cyanide. That's a good way on towards the man bomb, as you call it.
The reason they went for that possible Drake is because they know, like, we based already on bottom. They still have to base. There'll be a small gap there. Pantheon's passive blocks an all attack once in a while, a Drake shot. Zyra's plants eat up a lot of damage, so you don't need to do like the Mad Life-esque juking back and forth. You can just burn that Drake as quick as you can. But they weren't as confident. They didn't know exactly where people were, and Lee Sin over the wall could steal it.
Elimination. Sorry, not Lemonation, it was Meteos that's sneaking around the side there. They had vision of Cyanide a moment ago because that ping ward's still in that bush. Keep an eye on that one, by the way, because against TPA, Cloud9 kept a ward there for a good 25 minutes. From minute 5 until the end of the game, that didn't get touched out, that ward. So Cloud9 doing the same this time around in that bottom lane. We'll see if anyone passes through it. And actually, when you think about it from Cyanide's point of view, it's not really something he's going to be doing. He's going to be looking to jump rather than just simply walk into the lane. Explosive Cask missing Peke there. That's not good play.
Too much drunken rage before he threw that one, I think. And, not quite landing there, although we are going to see the grassy root coming down. Actually, Cyanide facing a bit of pressure here in the jungle. Meteos does land the Q, blocks out there from Cyanide, who returns a little bit more damage. We're going to see them fighting over the blue buff.
4-man invade here. Where are they going to go? Are they going to transition towards the dragon? Fnatic are close by and all ready and waiting to go for this one. Using that lantern to pull Meteos closer and then keeping that pressure on towards that blue buff. It is going to be up in a moment, but Fnatic are not going to let this one slide easily.
This is a signature Cloud9 move. 4-man invade on the blue buff. Meteos gets forced out though.
Yeah, actually, gonna have to flash over the top there. That was an interesting one as that blue buff is starting up. Lemon Nation going pretty low there. It's Peke diving in, missing in there. Peke has to go back there up towards his W. The Ignite was actually down. Peke may be able to escape from this one. A lot of damage coming in. And in the end, does manage to get away, but the Ignite's coming down. One more tick, one of
7 hit points.
Incredible. So close.
7 hit points. But Cloud9 are turning this. They're going to rush on towards that mid turret. Yellow Star is there to keep them at bay. While that was all happening, Reckless stayed in the bottom lane. He could have got involved and they maybe could have got kills, but that's going to be a blue buff for Cloud9.
Okay, so this play happened over a minute long. There's so many aspects to analyze right here. Okay, signature move Cloud9. Level 6, mid lane jungler. What do? We move in for a blue buff. Either we poke our lane down in the middle, that was that cost. We get him low and we challenge that blue buff. Good beat by Fnatic. Didn't greed in, just walked in, kept him off as long as they could. In the meanwhile, their AD carry is farming in the bottom. Rightfully so. They end up losing the blue buff only because they had a little bit of a bad trade with Expected going in there. And I really like what High did there in the end. He flashed just to apply the Ignite. This in turn, because the play lasted so long, they base, and this leads to a dragon.
This leads to a dragon for Fnatic, a big advantage. And, you know, I think a blue buff for a simple dragon, not a bad objective trade, I think they'll take that one, Fnatic.
And that puts them a nice 1,500 gold in the lead here. Fnatic looking pretty damn strong here at the start. Although we have to say, Reckless again, being out-farmed in this bottom lane. And again, we have to give props to Sneaky and Lemon Nation, who throughout these games so far, throughout yesterday, and looking the same today here. That bottom lane has been very strong. There's a barrel coming in. Cyanide gets hit by the second. Peke comes across. Play comes in. Cyanide going low. But the stun comes on towards high. Can they land in on the Q? Cyanide, Peke is going to actually have to take that Q there. Cyanide walks away.
And because Cyanide lost his blue buff, he's still level 5 right now. And this is Cloud9 capitalizing on the fact that Fnatic did that Drake again. You know, it's going in turn and very good reactive plays. Okay, we lose our blue buff. What do? We use their base timings to get that Drake. They just got Drake. They weren't on the lanes. What do? We try to collapse them when they go into our jungle. A little bit overplayed by Fnatic. I think they shouldn't be in that jungle.
Quick counter as well from Cloud9. They realize that, of course, Cyanide is going to have to go back. Meteos comes up there straight for that red buff. Soaz is going to try and counter it. They also have High coming up here. Soaz has got to back away from this one. He's in trouble. He's going to get taken down, maybe. Balls goes deep. This is very deep. Soaz going down. Flashes for it. Dominus on towards it. Has not got the ignite to go down. Now look in the jungle. Yellowstar comes in there. He catches on. Becky comes to counter it. They have to back away. It's still a 2v3 situation. And Fnatic, well, they did a good defense job, but Meteos is back there. Cyanide's managed to come back full health. He's going to try for the smite steal.
He has to get his, he's still level 5. If he doesn't get this, he's going to be really far behind, and he doesn't. A level 7 Meteos against level 5 Cyanide.
Oh, Lemon Nation actually taking a lot of damage. Got Yellowstar blown to pieces, and Sneaky comes around the side. Peke has to back off again, has no mana to really get involved with that one. And that will be the first kill of the game going over to Cloud9. They've got 3 men in middle as well. They might be able to do some good turret damage.
Yeah, it's a good counter, and Cloud9 are going to turn this damage into a tower because Fnatic can't defend this one. Peke's got 0 mana. He can't come in and defend this one. Cyanide's still at level 5, as you mentioned. That is great play from Cloud9.
So if you're watching this game, you would expect Cloud9 to be at least a couple of thousand gold ahead, given how much pressure they're exerting. And the reason they're not is because in the bot lane, the invisible AD carry Reckless is just farming all game. So Fnatic is just trying to last and hold on until he gets fed. But I'm not sure if that's the right play with this much of a non-scaling lineup. Pantheon needs to get strong and snowball. LeBlanc needs to get strong and snowball. Renekton will fall off in the mid game, so Cloud9 is playing their current position correct.
Fnatic here putting some pressure back in that mid lane now, and they found that turret may just well go down. Meteos is off doing his raids at this point, but he's not going to be able to come across to save this one. Fnatic picking up their first tower of the game, ties us on turrets overall. Meanwhile, Soaz feeling a bit of pressure now on this top side. Sunfire Cape almost done for balls. There is High to join in as well.
Take a look at the CS though. In this Shyvana-Renekton matchup, an only 10 or 9 CS difference is not what you would expect, and not what we saw earlier today. Even given ganks on the side of the Shyvana, the Renekton still was like 60 CS up. So this definitely indicating how solid of a top laner Balls is.
And you got to think surely that's down to the pressure that Meteos have been putting on. Cyanide has not been able to make any effect in this game so far because he's been so pressured by Meteos, so consequently Soaz has having to play so defensive in that top lane.
Yeah, but Meteos wasn't ever around top lane either, and at the same time in a straight 1v1 matchup, I think Balls did really well staying even on CS, and it's a tiny bit surprising to me.
What is surprising is the fact that Vayne, Reckless, is keeping up in farm. We do see Sneaky's gone back to get that Bloodthirster, but this would be a big bonus and a big problem for them. We see Soaz though, it's going to be the tower in the top lane because Balls has backed away. That's 2-1 in favor of Fnatic.
And they keep the pressure on, even though they seemingly get behind and they lose their buffs, they keep the pressure going.
2,000 gold is the lead that Fnatic have right now. Without Cyanide really being able to get involved, he's behind in farm and not really have the pressure that he wants. Meteos waiting off in the tri-bush there. He's a pink ward as well, so he knows that he's not going to be spotted, and Yellowstar's going to basically have to be the disengage here as we do see the ultimate pop from Sneaky. There's a flash away from the Q. The hook goes wide as well.
Great counterplay. Fnatic read that one. Was on the hunt used. It did burn a flash for Fnatic, but I think they'll take that one. It was a flash for Yellowstar. And they do have Cyanide still nearby. He is level 6 now. He has that man drop. The blue buff's going to go across the Peke, but Cloud9, they're going to continue pushing this one.
Yep, and I think that they've done so well here to be rotating around on towards these towers. Vayne is a mile away now from this turret, so this is going to be going down in favor of Cloud9. Their second one of the game. Balls is meanwhile pressure in that top lane as well. That turret is also down to below half HP.
See, I want to see how Cloud9 capitalizes even on somewhat of their own mistakes. I think that on the hunt wasn't ideally used, but you know, it failed. We got a flash. What do? don't go back into your jungle. Immediately group up, pressure this tower. Once it goes down, pressure it a little more, and then you have the chance to rotate mid. If not, keep rotating between the lanes and get vision control. And they basically force Fnatic back. And eventually they will go for the Drake.
Oh, that's a mistake. They don't want to go for this man drop. They're going to get in there. They've landed on high. The combo does come in there. The least lands, but look at the destruction that came out onto Cyanide. He was dropped where he stood.
And this ties in with the point I made regarding vision control. They had no idea exactly where Meteos was. He was waiting in the wings. Just look at how many wards Cloud9 has and how they combo that both with defensive line of pink wards combined with a like one line further aggressive line of green wards, and it's there in total vision control. Even though they're behind, they're controlling this map so well, and it allows them to rotate as well as they usually do.
And if it carries on like this, I have the feeling they're not going to be behind for too much longer. We see that Reckless continuing to farm things up. We've got 5 seconds until that Dragon comes into play, and Cloud9 already in position from that one. Reckless and Yellowstar, the only two really near. Cyanide is coming down. They're going towards Reckless. Condemn comes down. That's a flash away from Reckless. Meanwhile, the ultimate does come out of Yellowstar, but he's going to get caught out. Sneaky picks himself up a kill. We do see Peke going in on towards Meteos. Is he going to get the kill? Yes, he is. Ignite finishes that one off. They're going on towards Sneaky as well. They pick up that one. Cyanide gets the kill. Now Lemon Nation's all alone. This is going to be another one. Double kill for Peke. They're going to get the Dragon as well.
And see, I would almost feel that this is part of Soas's roam down the bottom. They had the information Shyvana stay top, and this is Cloud9 overplaying their hand, and Fnatic saying, well, you're overplaying it, I will call your bluff right now. Even though it looked like Yellowstar got caught, he was basically doing what Gambit does as well. They bait them into an area. Sure, you're killing my support, but you'll get in range of all my carries collapsing down on you. And we know if this fight drags out, Renekton will join so much sooner than Shyvana ever can. So we get kills on a Drake for a tower, and Fnatic takes the right trade here, and Cloud9 kind of got a little greedy.
That was such clear focus as well. Reckless went straight for Sneaky. Didn't care. There was a kill to be had at the side. Peke had already called it. He knew he was going to go down. Went straight in towards Sivir, and Sivir had no answer for Reckless there whatsoever. Top tower did go down though, so still tower advantage to Cloud9. But the gold is still in Fnatic's hands, and this game is wide open right now. Explosive cast being used on Yellowstar. He's going to turn his back around and grasping route. Peke is there. Does manage to land the leash. That's going to get the stun, but those barrels are starting to hurt.
Yeah, they certainly are. Fiend's Unholy Grail, double door and ring is what they have currently with high, as that red buff is going to be kicked off here and stolen away by Cloud9. I think it's in fact Balls that does get that one.
Deathfire Grasp was just picked up by Peke. Reckless keeping the damage on towards Balls. He's not going to let him keep in that free farm in the top lane. This is something Balls does tend to do. The rest of the team will keep pressure, but he will keep that wave pressure on towards that top tower. However, Soaz has been doing a fantastic job. He went down the bottom and he's completely massacred that wave, pushed it right up for Fnatic.
So I think what Balls does is really good as a top lane in Shyvana. This is what you have to do, especially at this point in the game, keep the pressure on. But your team needs to react accordingly, and I feel C9 got baited by their vision control. Lemon Nation put on so many wards. He's like, guys, I got this area under control, but the thing is, if you can't defend it, you have to leave it. And sure, you have to sacrifice that vision, but it's the right call.
Oh, Peke actually diving in on towards high. Good amount of damage. Actually, DFG was used in there as well. And he's still a constant threat. You know, these last few moments been a little bit quiet outside of that double kill. 3-0-0 right now. If you look at the AD carries as well, we can see that Reckless farming his way back up to a level pegging in terms of CS. Not got the kills. 3 assists to his names, and I'm sure he'd be happy with a couple of kills in there as well.
He would be very happy. Soaz caught out. Meteos going in this one, maybe bitten off a little bit more than he can chew. Balls is close by, but Soaz tried to go for that one. Tiamat was used, but he didn't quite land it close enough. Balls is going to come in though, find him in there. Soaz is forced to back away. That's going to give Balls some free farm in that bottom lane. Meanwhile, they're trying to collapse onto Sneaky in this mid lane, but the vision, like you said, Lemonation has managed to give great vision to Cloud9. They're not going to get caught out this time around. The damage on Peke. He has to be so cautious right now.
I think he was asleep there almost. He's lucky because if Gragas was close, that barrel could have come out, knocked him straight back, as we do see Balls going aggressive onto Soaz in that bottom lane, and that's going to push Balls right up on towards this turret. That's going to be some free damage for him.
The home guards LeBlanc coming out can be very deceptive though. You think you have the pressure, but you only have it for so long. Peke is looking for catches. They need to snipe somebody out and then just kill him, indicating it's a sweeper. He wants to get rid of those wards and catch people off guard. However, C9 is pressuring Fnatic very well right now.
Well, it's a 4v4 effectively at the moment, because Balls and Soaz are having their own fight off at the side. Meteos is going to come in and invade, and that's going to be a blue buff given across towards high, I believe. So did transfer in the right direction, and that's a problem for Peke. He needs that cooldown.
Another problem for Fnatic right now is that they don't have any sense of hard engage. Sure, Pantheon can drop, but you need people consolidated into an area when you can drop on them. LeBlanc, sure, he can pick somebody off, but if she goes in head first, she will get countered. And Zyra has really good disengage, but unengaged she lacks because her E is quite slow and her ulti takes 2 seconds to knock people up. So Fnatic is been playing very well reactively, but we have to remember all these picks they've made, all these kills they've gotten is basically reacting on missed positions of Cloud9, and Cloud9 in turn is putting the pressure even with a goal deficit, which indicates how well their comp is better at pressuring than Fnatic's.
You see the two AD carries, both are farming top and bottom. Sneaky's just gone down for himself a giant wave. I think it was like a double or triple wave he's just got down that bottom wave, which you can see getting miles ahead in terms of farm. Reckless is keeping the pressure on, meanwhile down the bottom, and the two top lane as well, they're going to counter and say thanks for all that farm, you just push it back on. How do we see these two top laners going? Because Soaz and Balls have been off on their own this time around. They are going to build up. We always say Shyvana becomes the stronger force at this level 9, 10, 11 stage. Once the farm starts to turn in their favor. Sneaky's got to be careful. He can't duel out against Soaz just yet. You can see the damage he's putting out. Has to use the On the Hunt to get away from this dominus of Soaz. But Lemonation's coming in. They're going to try and 2v1 this.
Oh, they're going to be able to get on towards Soaz though. Dominus, as you said, is going to be popped. There's a good play back. There is a hook landing as well. Soaz now going to get slowed by the box. Actually, not flashes away from that one. And that should keep him in safety as Meteos here. Not sure exactly what happened there, but he went very, very low. There's another hook landing on towards Soaz. Rest of Fnatic are starting to clamp around them though. Can they pick up any kills? Grasping Root comes over the side. Spell shield by Sneaky. It's an air around onto Cyanide. He has to flash away. Failed flash on Sneaky. But they are going to get Yellow Star.
What on earth is happening? Reckless is coming up. He sees himself multi-kills going on here. He's going to go on towards Sneaky. Gets the one-shot down. Soaz takes down Meteos. That's going to be another. They're coming on towards High. High goes down. This is all going Reckless's way. They're going to let him have the kill. And they give a bait. A triple kill. It was a 4-for-1 trade. It's disaster time for Cloud9.
And again, we see Balls in the bot lane pushing on his own. Cloud9 overplaying their hand. Sure, it looks so close, but Fnatic plays it so well. Oh, you got me. No, you don't. Oh, this time, no, you don't. And meanwhile, every time they get somebody low, another full HP member joins the fight, and then they get that guy low. And eventually, Reckless shows up and he just cleans house. And sure, Balls can capitalize on that in bot lane, but how much? A tower for a Baron?
This is a risky Baron, actually. Taking very low. They're going to get it now. Now the Cyanide is there. They're perfectly fine. And actually, you say that every time he's Yellow Star, just puts himself out there, says, I'm going to be the patsy. I'm going to be the one that dies. I'm going to put my neck on the line. While the rest of the team, the guys that need the kills, will get them. And giving a Vayne 3-0-3, that's not good.
And I really like what he does there. And you say like, yeah, Zyra gets caught really easily and blows up really easy, but yeah, Yellow Star is really actually making good use of the Zyra passive right here.
Yeah, and the bait coming in there allows them to get so many more kills after. You see Reckless now 3-0-3, 3-0-1 on Peke. There's a kill for Soaz, a kill for Cyanide. And overall, that's helped them really start to build things up. We can see that Reckless now, alongside that Blade of the Ruin King, has a Phantom Dancer, got a pickaxe as well in there, and he's actually on 160 gold, because he just went back and bought them up. Meanwhile, Peke is actually going to challenge for the blue.
But looking back at these fights, though, try and imagine what would have happened if Balls was present in those 5v4 instead of the 4v5 skirmish in 5v4, and then it would have been a lot different. And Balls, I think he really needs to start grouping up with his team.
I always like to keep present with my balls, but as it stands, it feels like it is being pushed in. Let's see what Fnatic make of this Baron. Keep yourself together, people. Fnatic are in the jungle. They have a wave in that top lane, and Cloud9 are not reacting to this one quick enough. Reckless is pushing straight in towards that top. The rest of the team are going to rotate around. Now they're here. But also the mid lane, you can see Peke and Cyanide are in there. They're keeping the pressure in towards the mid lane. They will clear this top wave out. Reckless getting a shot on Balls, and he's already doing some serious damage. The tank taking 1,000 hit points hit.
So if Fed Shyvana is going to jump on any AD carry, Vayne is probably your best bet to play with. As well as the Renekton going in, he's going to have a hard time catching the Sivir. So both ADs are going to be chased by their respective top laner on the enemy team, but both have the tools to deal with it very well. And I think Zyra is going to get increasingly more important right now.
Soaz Hook team doesn't really care, just slices and dices away, because Reckless was one they needed to focus. He manages to get himself some free hits back in the mid lane. Reckless is getting free hits on towards that turret. Both inner turrets taking so much damage. Cloud9 seem a little bit lost in which one they should be defending.
Yeah, I really think the split push opening up the map is a really good call for Fnatic. Pekka's mobile, he can get anywhere. Pantheon's in between the lanes, and he can surprise drop behind any of the lanes when Cloud9 splits up, and they have to keep winning these fights when they're split. Every fight they've won so far was a 4v5 or people outnumbering each other, and I'm not sure if they can already fight 5v5 because Balls combined with Gragas is going to be really a lot of AoE damage that comes instantly, and Fnatic is just not tanky enough to deal with that just yet.
Pressure staying on the turrets. We can see that Peke already got this middle inner turret down pretty low. The boomerang coming out from Sneaky will force him to back away somewhat, but he's just going to keep that one up because they have this pressure on the top side of the map with Soaz, with Yellow Star, and with Bane, as we are going to see the man drop coming in on towards that top turret again. It's still on towards time. Easy gun. No! He does manage to get away, but only for so long. Reckless now on a rampage. He gets slowed down, and Cloud9 are chasing back in. Turret does go down. Cyanide and Soaz tanking up all the damage, and we can see that Peke starting to come in around the side, decides against it.
This was really close. Imagine if High had his explosive cast right there.
Very close fight there. They do get themselves 2 inner turrets from it. That's not a bad use of Baron buff, which they got simply off a misplay or misfight from Cloud9, simply getting caught out. So Fnatic in control right now. 5-4 up in turrets, but more importantly, 9-4 up in kills, and they have a giant gold, 7,000 gold advantage at 25 minutes. Cloud9, is this a mental thing now? Are they starting to get in their own heads and thinking back to the quarterfinals of those World Championships?
I think we see that both teams play pretty well. In terms of vision and pressure, Cloud9 played their composition well. They just went a little bit too far with it, you know? They felt really comfortable because Fnatic couldn't really reply to it, but that's the nature of Fnatic's composition, and they went a little bit too greedy once or twice, and they have their analyst right here, and he used to work with us back in the day as well, and he's definitely he's been probably listening to this cast right now, and he's gonna tell them, guys, this is what you did wrong, and they're gonna fix that for the next game. And both teams are showing great understanding of their composition and as well playing reactively. You saw that. Oh yeah, you got my blue buff, I get your Drake, I get your tower, and I get your tower. This is like chain. Really good chain of events for both teams. As a matter of fact, Fnatic is just taking the upper hand right now because they're reacting a little better, but I really like what both teams have been showing.
Reckless 4-0-3 now, 212 CS as he continues to utilize the power of this Vayne, pushing through now towards the inner turret in that bottom lane. And in fact, Cloud9 having to react to this one, moving down pretty much the entire team on towards that inner turret to make sure that they can keep a hold of that one. But we can see that Fnatic already getting those wards down inside of the Cloud9 jungle. Inner turret in the bottom one is the only turret outside the base that still stands here, as there's a hook on towards Yellow Star. Are they going to try and capitalize this one? Flash from Yellow Star, but that's going to bait the man drop. Knock up there on towards Balls. Rest of the team coming around. Ultimate pop by Sneaky as they push right in there. Soaz in the middle. Meteos is dead. There is the explosive cast coming out, but now Reckless ripping through them. Good damage comes down. In the end, 2 for 1 here for Cloud9.
2 for 1. It's only because of the tower, though, I feel that they didn't follow through in that one, because Reckless is getting free farm. He's starting to get all on his own. Meteos had no chance and went down in seconds the moment Reckless got on him.
So this is the way Cloud9 had to play these fights earlier. Shyvana goes in, disrupts them, explosive cast splits them up, and mad props to Lamination. I think he landed 3 good hooks there in a row on Pantheon, on the Zyra, and on another target that I can't recall anymore right now. So but he's definitely in control of these fights, and that's the way they're gonna do it. Drag one out, kill him if you can. If not, let him go, grab the next one, and just try and split Fnatic up. And you saw what Fnatic was doing earlier to that fight, though. They were playing the split push game again. They don't want to face these guys 5v5. Pekka is a really annoying person to play against when he's one-on-one on your lane. He used to do that with Zeta a lot in the past when we played him, and he was basically introducing us back in the day to split push, and we had no idea how to deal with it because he just drags 1 or 2 people to the side, and then Fnatic capitalizes on that on the other side of the map because they're there pushing already. And if you move too many people into one side of the map, they will just take the other side of the map for them.
We have just 10 seconds until the Dragon comes up. Cloud9 already in position from that one, and less than a minute even until our second Baron of the game does spawn in. 28 minutes only on the clock from this one. It's going to be a Dragon here as Xpeke does go over the side there, just spotting that Dragon has been taken down. So whilst not getting that one, they do have the timer on that next Dragon spawn.
Yeah, they got the ward down, just sneaked across there, got a peek on it. And actually, if you'd have asked me a minute ago who would have got that Dragon, I would have almost certainly said Fnatic. They had it completely locked down until that single team fight. Talisman being used there by Cloud9. That's rushed them down towards that bottom lane, and Fnatic can try and take advantage. They haven't got quite quick enough to get in towards that mid lane, no, but they have position to try and bait out this Baron.
And Soaz finished Guardian Angel, and I like that. He can play the Darien-esque playstyle right now where he goes in, dies, they huddle up on him, and they have to kill him again. And essentially providing enough zone for Rekkles in the backline to start hitting people. Because Rekkles can kill anybody right now. Usually, AD carries have a lot of issues getting through the tanks, but he's Vayne, he's a fed Vayne, he has these items, and he's gonna just kill everybody that comes to his path.
Cloud9 trying to bait that one out. They're looking to try and create a play. They know they're going to be pushing in the middle. Mandrop's coming in. It's not going to land. It's a little too late. Peke coming in there. Yellowstar caught a stranglehold. He bounces 4 members of Cloud9 up in the air. Elimination dropped in seconds. Explosive cast does dissipate Fnatic, but Soaz, as you mentioned, is in there. He's creating all the damage. Barrel lands on towards Reckless, but he quickly tumbles straight on towards balls there, and Cloud9 are running for their lives.
They have to run away from this one, going so very low, losing one man, AD carry, top lane are both very low. Fnatic just going to back away, and this is going to be a Baron for them, carved out of that last team fight. Cloud9 had no vision, had to phase check in there almost to get things going.
See, both of these teams are so good at reacting to mistakes from both themselves and other teams. The Mandrop comes down, misses completely. Normally that would indicate, guys, we failed, let's wait for that cooldown again. Really good snare into Quadra knockup coming out of the Zyra, and then at the same time, Saber ulti gets popped. They try to disengage and they try to disrupt the teamfight later with an explosive cast, and this is just what happened. You see 4-man snare, 4-man knockup. Immediately on the first target, they go, and then Soaz flashes in on Sneaky. Sneaky gets zoned out of this fight, but he pops his ulti, shares utility, good cast, resets the fight completely, and Rekkles is trying to chase, but he can't chase into a Gragas. So really good usage of abilities on every team. And Fnatic, because they had the lead, they went out, but they actually made the initial mistake, reacted really well to their mistake, but then Cloud9 reacted really well to what was going on in the fight as well. So I like to give props to both teams. Pretty good fight.
And you just saw how close Peke was to landing that leech on Sneaky. That would have got himself the kill. May have even fed straight to another kill onto High, and that could have turned even a bigger advantage. They got the Baron from it nonetheless. It's the second Baron for Fnatic, and let's see what they do with it.
And this shows again what Soaz did again. He just jumps in, goes for the AD carry. He doesn't care. I'm renekton. If I can neutralize the enemy AD carry, I'm doing my job. As many people are hitting me, they're not hitting my teammates, and that's what Renekton needs to do right now. Because Rekkles on Vayne, he's going to clean up.
4-0-5, adding in a bit of defense there with the Spectre's Cowl, and on top of the Phantom Dancer, Blade of the Ruin King, and that last Whisper that he has in there already. We can see pushing again down towards this bottom lane. I mentioned it before, the only turret outside of the base left standing here for Cloud9. Are they going to be forced to give it up against a Baroned up Fnatic?
Ooh, just a quick dissonance. Catches both Lemonation and Sneaky stood a little too close together there. And they will come in and bully this one out. Explosive cast being used, but clearly trying to just keep that wave at bay. They don't care about that. They're just going to tank it out and take it. And Fnatic get themselves another inner turret. They're going to back now, get fully healed up, push once again with this Baron buff.
Yeah, I don't think that was, they were on the right page, or the same page. Sivir was backing up, explosive cast come in, they're trying for a catch.
Going in towards Meteos, he's going to actually dash out to the ward, but Peke going to dash straight into him. There's a stun as well. The leash actually landed at max range. Can he escape from this one? Peke dives in, a Q will finish off. Peke now on a rampage at 4-0-1. No Lee Sin, 5v4, Baron buff on for Fnatic. Not looking good.
Cloud9 are in trouble here. Fnatic have the bit between their teeth. I thought they were about to back off, but with that Baron buff, once they've managed to make that pick, once there's 4 members down, they just can keep on pushing. The explosive cask is not available either. They're trying to catch on towards balls. He has to back away. Reckless is given some free farm, some free time. Dominus being used by Soaz to tank out that turret. They're going straight in. Cyanide's taking a lot of damage. He's going to go down. They do manage to get that inhibitor turret down. They got Cyanide for the process, but they're going to quickly disengage. There is the Zyra. Yellowstar caught out here. Hasn't got his ultimate available. Reckless has got to be careful. He doesn't get dived on. Tries to tumble away. Oh, it's so close. No, he flashes away at the last second. But this is a great play from Cloud9. Trying to counter, but they're still losing people. Peke is cleaning house right now. Cloud9 going to chase once again. Meteos does not land the kick, and it means Fnatic will disengage.
And this is why these fights are so hard to play, because Fnatic rotates for one reason, right? Cask is down. Rotate, which means lure them out of the base, look for a pick, but they're going on Soaz.
Going in for Soaz, but actually Reckless is healed up, and there is Peke diving in. High goes low, Ballsy's low. Soaz is going to come back out of that GA. Is he going to be able to push through? Here comes Reckless. DFG used by Peke. Meteos is down. Reckless picks up his 5th kill of the game.
Completely read that one like the book. It's exactly like you said, you called it. Guardian Angels, they all clump around, and Fnatic, well, it bought the time for Peke's cooldowns to come back and Reckless to get back involved in that one. Fantastic counter, and Fnatic are looking strong in game one.
I mean, both teams are really trying to do the best they can. They see somebody low and they want to get him, and they know somebody's baiting with that Guardian Angel, but at the same time they know maybe we can kill him right before he pops, somebody else comes in. But every time this happens on both sides, you get somebody low, somebody else jumps into the fray. Pekka is surprised, this Distortion is jumping in as well, and he's playing his LeBlanc so well in and out as you need to play because you can't take any damage. But when we go back to the push, I just want to highlight what Fnatic did there. They saw the explosive cast going down, they go for a rotation, they draw Cloud9 out of their base, they look for a catch, and then they try to push down a tower. As long as Gragas does not have that AoE disruption available, they're going to win that push. At the same time, Cloud9 knows that Fnatic Sphinx is down, and when it's almost up, they start playing aggressive again, and you saw middle of that fight, that cast surprised Reckless, and he got hit by it, and he almost died to Elimination Soak, and it was really close. So both these teams are so aware of cooldowns that it dictates their play, but then again, each team knows that of the other team as well, so it's really mind games all over.
There is Reckless actually pulling the Dragon out, was hit by the hook of Lemonation, who also got himself a ward over the side there, but not quite finishing off, not quite got the attack speed to deal with that ward in one single go. Fnatic here on top of the Dragon. Cloud9 need that gold. Q is going to land there from Meteor, so they're going to go through, they get the hook on towards XPK, but Fnatic pick up the Dragon. They're going to back off. That extends their lead now to 11,000 gold.
It was Yellowstar's plant that got that. That explosive cast came in. That was very close to being stolen by Cloud9. And as you mentioned, is gold that they really need right now. They're hurting for that gold. And finally, with that explosive inhibitor, Fnatic are going to push.
Kite doesn't have that explosive cast for the defense, though. Possibly the problem coming into this one, that inhibitor, as you said, exposed now, and Fnatic can simply march on through with Reckless doing all the damage as they hook Soaz, but he's not the crocodile that you're looking for in that situation, and that surely won't mean the first inhibitor of the game, as PK does dash in there, just a little bit of damage off on towards Meteos, who's not really in these later stages of the game been able to have that much of an impact. Banshee of Yellowstar was just popped, but there is once again Peke diving in. Meteor's going to be forced to back away somewhat.
You can still see how cautious Fnatic are because they've got that pick comp. They need to get that kill. They haven't managed to get it yet, and they're still fearful that in a straight-up 5v5 fight, Cloud9 actually may get the better of them. Yeah,
Shyvana Gragas is such a dangerous combo to play against, especially on top of that, their side lanes are pushing in. If you make a mistake right now, you can lose like an inhibitor really easy, maybe even a second one. Death timers are pushing quite highly. Baron's about to spawn as well. They're really between a rock and a hard place when they're pushing because they don't want to play that 5v5 game. They want to split them up, but Cloud9 is reading into it. They don't have to defend any sides anymore when their sides are pushing, and only what's open is the middle lane for Fnatic. So Cloud9 is saying, well, come at me.
And look at Cloud9, they're just surging up that mid lane, making sure they can clear that wave, push it back up and buy themselves a little bit of time to try and get in towards that Baron. Sleeping lens being used by Cloud9 to get themselves the vision. Peke giving up on his own blue because they're not too sure about the situation over at Baron.
And Meteor's there a little bit out of position. He's going to get back around to the rest of his team. Baron is now live and on the map. Will Fnatic be able to pick that one up again? Pink ward's already going down, so full vision controls. We are going to see the ultimate out of Sneaky. There is the explosive cast coming in. Peke jukes him, goes straight to the back. Then comes the rest of the team. Soaz is right in the middle of them. Box goes down from Lemonation, but he's already at half HP. Cyanide is the one hammering away on him. Soaz now on a rampage. Reckless coming from the side. Lemonation does get the play down. Has to flash over the wall. Peke is going to fall here towards high. The grasping root not quite connecting. Well, they've got the finisher. 4 men down to the one of Fnatic.
Peke is a god.
Peke is a god. It's not, oh my god, it's oh my Peke. He just pulled off an amazing move with that LeBlanc. Just completely duped the entire Cloud9 team. That everyone went all in for it. So and then he was suddenly behind them, and they had no idea what happened.
From a textbook strategy point of view, the right calls made by both teams. We have Baron control, we want to bait it. Cloud9 says, well, you want to bait it? I can't fish tank, I will push mid, save your ulti to rush, but Fnatic wins it again.
Nexus turret's going to be focused down, the inhibitor taken just before that, and is this going to be game number 1 going over to Fnatic? Lemonation, the only man left alive, and there is a Nexus being focused down. Fnatic go 1-0 up in the best of 3 here in the Intel Extreme Masters World Championship Semi-Finals.
A great start for Fnatic there. They managed to take themselves game 1. It is a best of 3 series, let's not forget, but they did the exact same thing in the quarterfinals at the 2013 World Championships. Cloud9 did manage to strike